Boston is a city filled with history, Revolutionary War sites, old cobblestone streets, and disappearing houses. Yes, you heard that right. A house that appears out of nowhere, stands tall for a moment, and then gone. No record of it ever existing. No foundation left behind. Just an empty patch of land like it was never there. Sounds like a ghost story, right? But here's where things get weirder. Multiple people, in different decades, have claimed to see the same house in the exact same spot. Is this a glitch in reality? A house caught between dimensions? Or are we looking at something far stranger? The earliest recorded sighting comes from the 1800s when a man named Charles Townsend, a traveler from New York, was walking through Boston's Beacon Hill neighborhood. At the time, Beacon Hill was already famous for its old, towering mansions and eerie, gas-lit streets. As Townsend walked, he noticed a peculiar house. It was larger than the others, with black iron gates and ivy crawling up its brick walls. It had an almost unnatural stillness to it, like a painting instead of a real place. The next morning, when he asked locals about it, they all gave him the same confused look. What house? Townsend retraced his steps, swearing he had seen it the night before. But the space where the house had stood, it was now an empty lot. No ruins, no foundation, just nothing. Now at this point you might be thinking, maybe he just got lost, and fair enough. But Townsend wasn't the only one. Over the next century, reports of the same house appearing and disappearing kept surfacing. Witnesses described it almost identically, a grand, ivy-covered mansion, always appearing for one night before vanishing. In the 1920s, a woman named Eleanor Whittaker claimed to have seen it during a late-night walk with her husband. But when they returned the next evening to show it to friends, gone. In the 1950s, a cab driver swore he dropped a passenger off at an address that no longer existed by morning. The house had disappeared overnight. Even as late as the 1990s, a group of college students walking home after a party reported seeing a mansion that wasn't there before. But by daylight, it had vanished. At this point, we're way past coincidence. Sog, what's going on here? Some believe that the house was once real, but somehow, under specific conditions, people are able to glimpse the past, as if reality itself glitches for a brief moment. Think about it. What if, for a few seconds, we accidentally see through a rip in time? And before you dismiss it, there are other documented cases of time slips around the world. Some people in England have claimed to see entire streets from the 1800s. Horse-drawn carriages. People dressed in old Victorian clothes. Before they blink and everything returns to normal. Maybe in rare moments, the vanishing house is simply reappearing from its rightful time. Now, if time travel isn't weird enough, what about a house that exists in two realities at once? Some paranormal researchers believe the Boston house is not from this world, but another version of it. In this theory, two dimensions are overlapping, and this house only exists when those two realities sync up for a brief moment. And if that's the case, what happens if someone accidentally walks inside? Well, no one's lived to tell that story. A more grounded theory suggests that the house did exist at some point but was erased from history. Bought out, demolished, and forgotten. But if that's true, why do people keep seeing it? And more importantly, why does it always disappear without a trace? There's one thing all accounts have in common: no one has ever entered the house. Some witnesses described it as too eerie to approach, as if their instincts were warning them to stay away. Others said they saw movement in the windows, shadows, flickering candlelight, figures standing in the dark. One urban legend even claims that in the 1800s, a man attempted to knock on the door and was never seen again. Coincidence? Or did he enter a place he was never supposed to? So what do you think? A time slip phenomenon, a glitch in reality, or something else entirely? One thing's for sure. The next time you're walking through Boston at night, keep your eyes open. Because if you see a grand mansion standing where no house should beg, whatever you do, don't step inside.